I'm going to share with you 5 early warning signs that your liver is getting damaged. Now, these are very important because once your liver gets damaged, it becomes scarred tissue, and it's not regenerative. So if you have any of these symptoms that I'm going to talk about, you better stop what you're doing and make some major changes in your diet and lifestyle. Otherwise, you're going to end up with cirrhosis, which is scar tissue of the liver, and that could lead to liver cancer and death. Okay, so let's go through them one by one. Number 1, jaundice. Now, what is jaundice? That is when you have this yellowing of the skin or the whites of the eyes. And the reason this happens is because there's a buildup of bilirubin. Bilirubin is this orange-colored pigment that comes from the breakdown of red blood cells, okay? Normally, it's processed by your liver, and it's secreted into the bile ducts as bile. But if there is any blockage in that system, or the liver is inflamed and it can't process it, then bilirubin will build up in your blood. It'll circulate through your body, and it will deposit in the skin and the whites of your eyes, giving you this yellow color. If you have this symptom, drop everything and get on a healthy keto and intermittent fasting plan. Also start taking TUDCA. TUDCA is a synthetic version of bear bile. It helps to thin the bile, keep it flowing so it can help reduce the risk of having stones. All right. Number 2 is dark urine. Okay, same thing. If your urine is dark, it means that there is a high concentration of bilirubin in your urine, and again, that's coming from the breakdown of red blood cells. It should be clear. If it's dark, like Coca-Cola or dark brown, definitely you have a problem with your liver, probably some type of inflammation, and you need to make some changes. All right. Number 3 is pale stools. Okay, if your stools don't float, they sink, they're pale, that means you're not secreting enough bile into the intestines, and this is coming from the liver. The bile has this brownish color, so if there's not enough bile or it's not secreted properly, your stool will be pale. In addition to that, if it floats, that also means there's undigested fats in there. Okay, so if it floats and it's pale, you definitely have a problem with your liver. All right. The next symptom is edema in your legs. Now, what is edema? That is swelling. Okay? So if you have swelling in your lower legs, your ankles, your feet, that could be an indication that you have a problem with your liver. Why? Because the liver produces this protein called albumin, and albumin keeps the fluid in the vascular system. So if the liver is not making enough albumin due to some damage or inflammation, you're going to have a buildup of fluid in the tissues. This is very common in people who drink alcohol, and they end up with this big swollen belly because of fluid retention. You also may notice that around the belly there is some bulging. That's called ascites. It's actually fluid around your abdominal cavity. There's just so much fluid that it can't stay inside the tissues. It backs up into the abdominal cavity, and you get this big bulge. Very serious situation. If you have that, definitely, you have a problem with your liver, and you need to get on the healthy keto and intermittent fasting. And the last one is spider nevi. Okay, so what is a spider nevus? You've seen these little red dots with these spiderweb-looking things coming out of it. These are blood vessels that are dilating. They're called telangiectasia. And the reason why they're dilating is because normally the liver produces a certain amount of estrogen. It's a small amount compared to what a female produces, but it's necessary for certain functions in the body. And so, if the liver is damaged, it's not going to be able to produce the amount of estrogen needed. And what happens is you get a backup effect from the other source of estrogen, which is from your adrenals. And the adrenals produce more estrogen than the liver does. And so now you have too much estrogen compared to the normal amount of testosterone. Estrogen increases the production of certain enzymes that cause the smooth muscles in the blood vessels to relax. And so now, you have all these blood vessels that are just dilating. Women typically have more of these blood vessel spiders because they have more estrogen. Men should have very few, if any. Now, if a man has spider nevi, it means that he has a problem with his liver. Okay? His liver is not producing enough of its own estrogen. He has too much estrogen from another source, probably from the adrenals. And so you have this compensation going on. So the spider nevi would be an indication of a problem with your liver. Now, there's many other symptoms of a fatty liver. I'm going to put those down below in the description, but these are the 5 most common early symptoms. Now, the question is, what causes the liver to become inflamed? Well, I did an exclusive video on that. I put it up right here. Check it out.